Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Imagine a small cat, weak, frightened, sitting in the corner of a dark room. It doesn't understand the human world. It doesn't understand rules. All it knows is hunger and pain. The door opens. A woman steps in. A Muslim woman. A believer. A kind person in the eyes of people. But in the eyes of the cat, she is the only source of food, the only hope. The cat meows softly. It's not even a loud cry, just a simple, "Please, I'm hungry." But the woman doesn't respond. The door closes again, and now the cat is alone. On the first day, it tries to stay hopeful. It walks around the room, touches the door with its tiny head, looks at the empty bowl, thinking maybe she will come back. By the second day, the hope becomes confusion. The cat doesn't understand punishment. It doesn't understand why someone who used to give food suddenly stopped. It licks the cold floor, trying to taste anything. It curls up near the door, waiting for footsteps that never come. By the third day, the room feels different. Still dark. But now the cat barely moves. It breathes slowly, eyes half open. Its body is not angry. It's tired. It wonders, in its tiny animal heart, why did the person I trusted stop feeding me? It's just suffering, quietly, silently, alone. Now pause here for a moment. Let me tell you something that most people don't realize. An animal feels pain exactly the way you and I feel it. Hunger, loneliness, fear. They're real for them. And sometimes their pain is even deeper because they cannot speak. And this is why the Prophet warned us so strongly about animals. Now let's bring you back to the story. The woman continues her life normally. Maybe she prays on time. Maybe she gives charity. Maybe people think she is a good Muslim. But inside that room, another creation of Allah is dying. One day, then another. And eventually, the cat takes its final breath. But here is something most people never think about. That final breath doesn't disappear. The pain that cat felt, the loneliness, the hunger, the fear, all of it is recorded by the one who created both the woman and the cat. Now let me tell you the part that shakes every believer. When that woman dies and stands before Allah, she will think about her salah, her charity, her kindness to people. But what she will see instead is that tiny cat. Allah will ask her, "Why did you imprison the cat? Why did you stop feeding it? Why did you leave it to suffer when you had the ability to help?" And the woman will have no answer. Now listen carefully. Sometimes we measure sins by size. We think, I didn't kill anyone, I didn't steal, I didn't do anything big. But in Allah's sight, the weight of a sin is not measured by size. It's measured by injustice. Let me make it even simpler. Imagine someone steps on your foot. If it's an accident, you forgive. If they do it on purpose, you feel hurt. But if they do it again when you're too weak to defend yourself, that pain becomes 10 times heavier. The cat was like that, too weak to defend itself. Now here's the part people misunderstand the most. Some ask, but she was a good woman. She did many good deeds. Why did this one action destroy everything? The answer is not harsh. It's actually very fair and very beautiful once you understand it. Let me break it into 3 clear points so your heart can understand. First, Allah does not allow oppression, even the weight of an atom. The woman didn't commit a pet mistake. She caused suffering to a living being that couldn't escape. Injustice becomes heavier when the victim is powerless. Second, the pain she caused didn't last for minutes. It lasted for days. Every hour was written. Every cry was written. Every moment of hunger was written. A continuous suffering becomes a continuous sin. This is why the scale became heavy. And third, good deeds wash sins with Allah's permission. But good deeds done for humans cannot erase sins done against another creation unless that creation is compensated. You cannot hurt someone, then expect your charity to clean it. Even animals will be given their rights on the day of judgment. This is not cruelty from Allah. This is perfect justice. Now think about this for a second. If Allah protected a small, weak, helpless cat, what about you? Do you think Allah won't protect you from someone who wrongs you? If a tiny animal receives justice, won't Allah give justice to a believer whose heart breaks in sujood? That's why this story is not just about punishment. It is a reminder for every believer who has ever felt mistreated, ignored, or hurt. Allah sees everything. Nothing is lost. And it's also a reminder for anyone who has power, whether over animals, children, employees, or anyone weaker. Allah does not forget. Let's return one final time to the cat. That tiny creature, alone in the room, suffering quietly. Allah saw it. He heard every soft cry. He recorded every moment of its hunger. And He delivered justice. Not because Allah is harsh, but because Allah is perfectly fair. And the woman? Her story teaches us a deep truth. You can be religious in the eyes of people, but what matters is how you treat those who cannot return anything to you. Before we close, I want you to remember something. The Prophet ﷺ said a woman entered Jannah because she gave water to a thirsty dog. One act of mercy opened paradise. One act of cruelty closed it. So mercy is not small, kindness is not small, and cruelty is never small. In the end, this story is not really about a cat. It's about you and me. It's about what kind of heart we carry. It's about what Allah expects from us: kindness, justice, and compassion, even when no one is watching. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.